You start reading the chat, you're gonna get sidetracked and stuff is gonna be going left. So how are you?
No, that's okay. I'm good, man. How are you doing?
I'm riled up, man. You did a hit piece on me, man. So my feelings.
Hit piece?
You said I was slandering and lying on ASJ.
Okay. Well, first of all, let me just say this. When you sent me, because you're like, make sure you send the clips of me lying. I was like, I don't think I ever said you lied about anything.
All right. Okay, let's go ahead.
I mean, listen, I'm sorry if I did. I don't remember anywhere. I mean, I never said directly HenryResilient lied.
Okay. This is a true statement, guys. He never said this. Look, I'm
be honest. Like, go ahead. Yeah.
This is true. He never explicitly said me. But in the opening clip,
the beef between Austin St. John and Jason David Frank is truly a big fascination in the fandom. But did they really hate each other?
No, we're fine. So long as we never, ever talk.
This seems to continuously come up in the fandom.
It's a good clip. It's a good clip.
So
even after Jason David Frank's death in 2022. For some people, slandering Austin St. John seems to be their way of honoring JDF's death.
Did I say HenryResilient? Did I say HenryResilient?
Technically, you didn't. But when you say people slander ASJ and then you have me in the video and Francis in the video, I don't see how you can interpret that as me not slandering ASJ.
Okay, you're very valid. I understand that completely. I will be honest. The thing about this video, I really thought I thought about breaking it up into two, because this whole front half is really, I hope it gives more the impression it's really just a speculation of like, let's try to figure out like what maybe was going on with it, because I've had a few people like, give us the evidence that Amy Jo Johnson actually was mad. It's like, okay, think about it. She studied at a high school, like drama school. She went to a college drama school, and she's starring in a show with a guy who dropped out of college and has never acted a day in his life. I know theater people, and she would hate him. Every theater person would hate him because it's just the circumstances, you know? And so I don't, the first half, when I'm just speculating about kind of maybe drove some of that, it's not like, oh, somebody told me directly that they didn't like each other because they were both martial artists and there was like, you know, they were competing for who was a better martial artist. But it's like, I'm speculating, like, don't you think probably, you know,
look, I'll just say this. When I do it, I tend to use the clips and I get my opinion from the clips of what they say.
Right.
But people took offense to the fact that you say, but seeing fans become hateful towards ASJ and other actors based on stories that aren't 100% truthful. And you add me and Francis, I think there are definitely stories that are not truthful on your end. So that, we got to be like, well, if I say, hey, Mighty Morphin conspiracy theory is not telling truthful stories, and I'm gonna be like, well, the story he said was this, and this is how it really happened. So that's where people are like, hey, well, where were we not truthful? You know, like.
Okay. I totally understand. I will say, I don't want to get shots fired right at the beginning, but I
go ahead, man.
I really don't feel that you said anything outlandish, like, or anything that's a lie, because you show clips. The clips are, they say what they say. I mean, they're saying it, not you. And so I don't think I shouldn't have put it, both of you tagged right there, because the only reason is because Francis comes on your platform a lot and tells stories. So I apologize, because that is misleading. Okay. And but no, you show a clip, you comment on it. It's not like you show a clip and go like, oh, now what they said 5 minutes after this clip was this, you know. No, it's like, you don't do that. So I'm sorry. Because you sent me that email. I'm like, when did I say that? Okay, the description.
I'll be honest. I don't take offense to it. Now, some people who follow me, they took strong offense to it. Like, they're even super chat and saying, hey, Francis did say in description, it says you and Francis lied. You know, I'm sorry. I got very passionate fans, and hopefully they didn't attack you too much. I can only be responsible for what I say. And I never tell people to go out and attack you. So.
Well, you know what's this video is really strange, because I've gotten 3 very drastic different takes on it. I have people who are like, oh, you are such a Austin St. John supporter. You're like a diehard. He's not, to be honest. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers is like one of my least favorite seasons of Power Rangers. I've watched. I call myself I call myself a franchise fan, as in I've watched all 30 years of Power Rangers. I've watched every season 2 to 3. I mean, some of the seasons I love the most, I've watched like 6 times, all the way through. Okay. Power Rangers is not my favorite. And like, I mean, for one, Jungle Fury is probably like one of my favorite seasons of it. But so that being said, it's just funny because when people are like, "Oh, you're such a supporter of Austin St. John," it's like, honestly, I give the least amount of craps about the Mighty Morphin Power Ranger cast than anyone else. And the reason for that, honestly, is because like when the 2017 movie came out, all their interviews was basically like them complaining, why aren't they putting us in a movie? I don't understand. And it's like, okay, I know you're not in the movie, but can you just support the movie and
exactly
be along with it? So honestly, it is funny. Just the people are like, "Oh, you just love Austin St. John." I'm like, not really.
It does him a great service. I did think you omitted some things that you might be fully aware of.
Well, okay, I'll say this. It's the hardest thing about doing these videos is since like I don't live stream, so I'm not like doing an hour and a half video is not, I don't want to do that, so I understand why people are like, "Oh, you're just making up excuses." But honestly, when it comes to editing, and also thanks for saying I have good editing. I appreciate
it's good. I was like, this is great. I'm like, yeah, I look, from one editor to another, game recognized game. I'm like, oh yeah, this is good stuff.
Thanks. But the thing is, like, they always say, if you can cut out, like, if there's a sentence in your video that doesn't actually change the story, whether or not it's in or out of it, you should take it out. So there's a lot of, like, for instance, like his poetry clip, I had a lot longer clip of that, but then I was like, it's 45 seconds. That's a long time. It's like, cut it down just to the main part of it. I'd love to play more of it, but again, it's like, I'm trying to, when I first did the video and put everything together, it was like 50 minutes long, and I cut it down to like 35. So I understand. And there are things I'm sure you can bring up, or that you brought up in the live stream that I'm sure people would wish I would have put in there. And I understand that completely. But I'm just trying to figure out, like, for me, it was just, okay, what are the main points I'm trying to make and what are the things I want to talk about? But anyway, Go ahead if you have a question.
One question is, why did you bring up the Zach Taylor McGinnis post?
To be honest, I don't follow, like, I don't really follow Zach. I don't know much about that story, to be honest. I have heard you like mention it. But to be honest with you, like, I worked in a concert venue. Okay. The amount of dirtbag managers I've met, it's like 99.9% of managers are pretty awful people. Like, so just when I hear that story, to me, I'm like, yeah, I mean, it's another manager. And so, but I understand people are like, well, but that doesn't make it right.
This is not a story. This is like, hey, I'm happy you're gone on his death day.
It's horrible.
Days. So
that's horrific.
And,
I mean,
and Austin didn't fire this guy at all. There was no discipline. He put out like a half-cooked statement where he didn't even acknowledge the fact that the statement was about JDF. He just said, people shouldn't say negative things. So I was like, yo, Casey, why are you not covering the whole thing? You're like, hey, this beef is keep going on because of me and Francis. I'm like, well, I didn't post that. Zach posted that. You know what I'm saying? So when you cut that out, I'm like, well, this is kind of doing ASJ a huge favor, because not too many people, I would say, know about the statement or the apology, because what ends up happening is if you go into ASJ page, which is another thing I didn't see you bring up, and you ask about any of his controversies, he blocks you.
Right.
So, I mean, here was his, I'm deeply saddened to see hurtful and negative sentiments being expressed. He never said, like, this was my manager. It's crucial for us as a community to remember that each one of us carries our own burdens and emotions, and it's our duty to stand by each other. Like, emphasis on this. It's our duty to stand by each other, particularly when it concerns mental health. And this is him basically sweeping it under. And I was just like, bro, come on, man. You know he was talking about JDF. You won't say his name. And this is what pissed me off. And this, I'm sure, pissed off a lot of Green Ranger fans. Like, we let's just say people accepted ASJ, in their good graces. And then this comes out and they see his response. They're like, bro, what the hell is this? So when I didn't see it in a video, I'm like, that would you agree that that statement contributes to the division?
Yeah, I mean, I would say if you're getting deep enough into it, yes. To be honest, for me, I felt like that's not Austin's. Like Austin didn't say the statement, so to me, it wasn't important for the beef between the two of them.
Okay,
But I again, I completely understand. I think there's obviously. I mean, you said you've been covering their beef for a long time. There's so much out there, and I admittedly I know there's clips I don't know about, and I know there's probably stuff that I don't catch or don't know. So, but it's just. Yeah. So I just didn't really, to me, Zach, it's like a dirtbag manager, seen a billion of those. I didn't really think like Austin didn't say that. So that was more my thinking.
Okay.
And
all right.
I understand if people think that's like, I was purposely cutting out. I get that.
I'm looking at this. I'm like, because here's the thing. You clipped the Power Rangers playback interview.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, well, why did you ain't clip the part where he said he stabbed him in the back? And that was like 4 months before.
Right. Yeah. No, to be honest, I watched that interview like a long time ago, and I remember the part where they were praising him. And so when I was doing the video, I was just like, oh, I remember them talking about that. So, and again, it's like the point for that was just that the cast members do seem to like him, at least they talk about him pretty positively for the most part.
All right. Now, Austin also made fun of a gay person for trying to get the role of Zordon, which you are aware of because you nodded your head, right?
Well, to be honest, I did not know until I put the video out and I saw a clip of yours afterwards. So that's like a new thing to me because people are like, why did you throw this in there? I'm like, I didn't know. Sorry.
Okay. Well, all right, guys, give him a little bit of grace. He didn't know about
and again, I know people are probably like, he's lying, but I mean, I really tried to get as well, as much as I could in there, well-rounded as I could. But yeah.
Well, it was very pro SJ. And someone said, "Hi, Henry. Glad you're airing that ish out because I was irritated by the video and mad. And on our JDF and Francis behalf, much love to you two guys. Stay resilient." Yeah. So, I mean, you came into the Lions Den, so you get a bump of respect for that because most people would be like, I'm not coming on Henry's platform. I know how his audience is. I know he's toxic. I know he's a cult leader, and his cult leader is going to attack.
Do people know what a cult leader is? Because I don't think.
Look, man.
No. To be honest, when I made the video, I did not think like, oh, I'm going to get on his live stream. I'm going to get on there. I tagged you guys, which I should have missed.
You didn't even tag us the right way because I
didn't. Oh shit! I'm so tech illiterate. I got to be honest.
Pop up in my tags.
Oh crap! Okay, I tried.
It's fine.
It looks like I tried.
I'm not. I don't care.
But the reason because I was like, I tried to tag. I guess I didn't do it successfully. But because I knew I'm like someone's going to send them this clip, and then I'm like I don't want people to be. I don't want it to assume like, oh, I'm just trying to hide under the radar, and like, oh, I didn't say that about you or anything like that. So I was like, I bet I need to tag him. Then apparently I didn't. So
okay, all right. Now I guess this is my last thing to ask about what was not included. The fact that he pled guilty to wire fraud. Yeah.
Well, I'll be honest. I feel like it's been covered so much. I don't think anybody doesn't know that, but I can understand why someone's like, oh, you're just not clear. To me, dude, it's like he's pled guilty. It's happening. He's going to get his consequence
at some point.
It is.
I am patiently waiting. And
and I've heard you say, I think you've said that you don't think he's going to serve jail time.
Well,
I kind of agree with you on that. I think he'll probably get fined and probably have like maybe some house arrest or on probation or something. I don't think
federal government
myself. That doesn't mean I don't want him to go to jail. I'm just saying I don't think that's.
I want Austin St. John to go to jail just like every other person that did PPP fraud. I'm vocal about it. I'm hoping you go to jail. It is what it is. The person who pled guilty for the same crime, who I think they took a little bit more money, they got 6 months in jail and like I think a year of probation, and they have to pay restitution. But they took a plea deal. Austin is taking a same plea deal. He's implicated, his good friend, who his co-conspirator, I don't know if you know about Cord Newman. I mean, right
I do
here.
not.
Yeah, he didn't made a statement. This was right around the time that they got the money too, which makes it even which makes it better. They were flicking it up. Hey, we just got 200,000 from the government. You know, let's live it up. So okay, guys. So basically, conspiracy. So who is your favorite Ranger? Before we.
Oh, that's really hard. I think so. Like, I mean, I like a lot of seasons. I will say I like a ton of seasons. My favorite, just I don't know. There's something about him I love. Is in Power Rangers Jungle Fury. There's the mentor. His name's RJ, and he becomes the Wolf Ranger, the Purple Ranger, and I just love him because he's kind of like he's about the closest thing to like a hippie sort of like druggy type of guy you could have. But if you've watched any of my videos, the thing is I get people all the time who are like, dude, you're thinking way too much about this. Totally true. Totally true. That's kind of the point, though. Like, that's what I love doing, because his whole storyline is that he became this master of Paishwa, which is their martial arts form. But the whole thing is he had the spirit of the wolf. His family has always been the spirit of the shark. And he basically, because following the wolf path, he was kind of like looked down upon by his like family sort of thing, but he still went out and like became a master and also. So I don't know. I like his story. I like his character. He's fun. Says some pretty goofy things that are actually kind of like sometimes wise.
Okay.
Kind of come out to be
now,
fun. So
some people want you to delete the video. I am not one of them. I would never tell anyone to delete a video or anything like that, or even change the video. Now, Aaron would be like, change the title to make me look better.
Yeah.
Keep that video as is perfect to me. We've hashed it out. It's fine. Even if you didn't come on here, I would never tell you to change the video. But
I know. From watching you, I know you wouldn't.
Yeah, well, it's content. It's his channel. He does whatever the hell he want to do.
Well, and I will say this. I think I am, honestly, though, I think I am going to change the description to specify Francis on your channel, because that's one of those things. I was just like, I hate writing descriptions for videos too, because it's like, what do you, I mean, it's in the video,
man.
You know?
Someone calling me a liar, I don't care. I've been told to put my goddamn head in the noose. They was like, you should put your head in the noose. I'm like, God damn. Look, they ain't even shy about it. They just like, put your head in the noose. I'm like, oh my God.
Well, we can both. I mean, anybody who does social media or is online, I mean, dude, the amount of comments I've gotten, I just delete. I mean, it's just like, oh, or they just go after like, oh, you're fat or something's like, oh, good one. Just delete it. It's like, whatever. Like, I don't care.
All right. So now that you got your taste of drama,
yes,
do you plan on to continue down this debaucherous path?
No, to be honest, I made a video about Austin St. John about 4 months ago. And I watched it and I'm like, I don't know. I watched it and I just felt like I don't like it. I don't know. There's something about it. I just felt like I didn't like it. So I just deleted it. And it's it's just one of those things. I don't really, now I'm not saying this like against what you do, because you do great what you do, but it's like, I don't really enjoy like kind of the TMZ style stuff. I know. I hope that's not offensive. I just mean like the news stories, kind of fine and stuff. I enjoy more the actual Power Rangers, like deep diving into a season, talking about characters. Like that's what I kind of enjoy more. So I don't do these very often. I did a few like a couple of years ago when I was like really trying to produce a video every week. And to be honest, some of them were good, I think. And some of them I just kind of afterwards felt like, I don't even really like that I did that, because it doesn't really feel like me. So.
Okay. Now here's the thing about the PDF file support for Austin St. John and Jacob Frank.
Yes.
I was made aware that he 100% knew about the criminal history and sided with whatchamacallit. Now, I'm not there. This is literally someone saying, hey, I spoke to Scott Zillner at a con. Jacob told them about how a 13-year-old tricked them with a fake ID, and he believed that he was tricked. So that's why he was at the con. And I'm like, he's not going to relay that message. He's not going to not tell ASJ about that. So I did find it like,
I I'll be honest. I know some managers who wouldn't. I do. I mean, I know some people may not believe that, but dude, I've seen. Oh, dude. I mean, when I worked at a concert venue, we had a guy who there was a reunion concert, and the singer. The whole thing was like they're all sober, they're all like good, they're all going back on the thing. The original members, the singer got so drunk and so wasted and on drugs that the whole band just packed up all the equipment and left him. Like they just quit the tour. And he came to our place, and I watched some manager for literally 12 hours straight backstage talk to this guy going, those guys are the effing like the fakes and the frauds, man. You're the real talent. And it's like, dude, really? This guy needs to go to a rehab center. Like he has problems. And he's like, he was just pumping him up the whole day. Like, F those guys. You're the one who, but if the guy left and went to rehab, the tour stops, the manager stops getting paid.
Now,
so you know what I mean?
This is true. You got to keep, keep the goat and goose land to go next. That's unfortunately how it goes.
But I'm not saying he didn't, there's no way he didn't tell him, but I mean, in my experience, there's a possibility.
Okay. I mean, yeah, we don't know. So people want a Francis apology. Now that whatever you do, that is on you. But she would like to